Hey, welcome back to my channel here. This is Page of Fame. I am doing the M1 Mac Mini video for you guys. I wanted to go ahead and get this out the way for you guys so you guys can see why the M1 Mac Mini is worth it. I'm going to be bringing up a couple of things for you guys. This is my YouTube studio here for you guys. Now, the reason why I love my M1 Mac Mini is because of one reason only: how fast it blazes through Mac OS. I used to personally have I'll show you guys. I had a Intel 13-inch MacBook Pro. Let me show you so you guys can see the technical specifications here. I can bring it full for you guys so you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. So I had this specific great pixel density count. Also was super good on color accuracy. Having the touch bar was really great with Touch ID. I did have it in the Space Gray edition here. It had the 500 nits of brightness, wide P color gamut, True Tone technology. I had the i5. This is the one that I had, the 16 by 8. The 2560 by 1600 resolution. I had it in Space Gray with Touch ID and touch sensor. I had it with obviously 500 nits of brightness. Same thing as the 15-inch, just with the worst Intel core model. I had the i5 with 1.4 gigahertz that could go up to 3.9. It was also configurable, yes, with an i7. I didn't get that one. I just got the base model. I was just going to college at that time. I had just moved out of my parents' house, so this was very new to me at the time. In terms of, I never had a Mac before, so this is really new. 128 gigabytes SSD, definitely not worth it. Anything less than 512 is just bad. And I have the 256 model of my Mac Mini. Not enough storage. 512 and above is what you guys should be aiming for. 8 gigabytes of onboard memory. It has 2 Thunderbolt ports. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, this was so bad. I had no idea that it. Let me zoom in more for you guys so you guys can see. I had no idea that Thunderbolt, how bad this Thunderbolt situation was. Since I really did not know, I had to buy dongles. I had no idea. Like, I had to buy an HDMI dongle. I had to buy a USB-A dongle. This was awful having this. That is the one thing I wish that I'm so glad about my Mac Mini for, is that it is definitely doesn't have those issues. And let me tell you, the backlit was super nice because I used to work a lot in the dark, especially for homework and things like that. This was so helpful, having the touch backlit. Wi-Fi was cool, Bluetooth was cool, the webcam was unusable. Fully supported up to 4K, 60 hertz. I didn't use that, so I didn't really ever hook it up to a monitor, so I never really needed that. It was really nice having the stereo speakers though. Those things sounded super good on that particular model. And then you can see the battery life here. The battery life was not bad. It was better than the laptop I had before that, which I had like a Macintosh. I don't know if you, not Macintosh. I had a Dell. I had a Dell that my mom bought me after graduation that really didn't last long, and battery life was horrible. So great job for myself getting myself a MacBook that lasted longer than that. Temperatures were okay. Fans did kick in when I was editing videos, but you know, that kind of happened back with Intel. Not really great there. Let me see. So yeah, that was pretty much it for that one. But let me tell you, the Mac Mini is so nice with port selection. This was the biggest thing I think for me personally that I had to have. So as you guys can see, it comes with 2 USB-C options, an HDMI, and 2 USB-As. This was so helpful for me because where I was coming from, obviously as you saw, the 13-inch only had the 2 Thunderbolt ones, and it was horrendous using these. Only having 2, especially when one of them had to be plugged in for your charger, it was really bad. I'm super happy I got rid of that to get a Mac Mini, one Mac Mini with these options on it. I do wish I had the Mac Studio, now seeing that it has, I think it has, 4 Thunderbolts, 2 USB-Cs, you get the M1 Max, which is the one I would get because I don't need the M1 Ultra options. An HDMI, a gigabit Ethernet port, which I do have over here. Let me see if I can show you guys a little bit. Yeah, you guys can see there, Thunderbolt. And I believe it has an HDMI. I believe it still only has 2 USB-As, and then it has in front 2 USB-Cs along with a card reader, SD card reader. So those are the only things that I wish I had was more USB-C ports, but for right now it is okay. I am going to be trying to get the M1 Max Studio in here in the next 3 months for you guys, so you guys can see what it's like to own one. You guys can see mine's a little dusty. I have had it now for almost a year. I really can't believe I've had this M1 Mac Mini for almost a year. I was gonna keep this until they made a Mac Mini Pro, and then I was gonna buy that. Unfortunately, that doesn't look like it's gonna be coming. It looks like the M2 Mac Mini is just what they're gonna be end up doing. I personally don't need an M2 Mac Mini. It's the same as this one. It's gonna have the same ports. I don't need that. I need something with more ports. So that's where I was looking for. That's why I'm looking at the Mac Studio, because it does have the 6 USB-C ports, 4 Thunderbolt, 2 regular USB-Cs. The reason why I was hoping for a Mac Mini Pro was because I was going to use it with it was going to have 4 USB-C ports, which was fine with me. I just needed 4. Like 4 was like the bare minimum for entry to get to where I wanted to, the Mac Studio, and I am going to do a video for that for you guys as well. Other things that I love about the love that I have for the way it smoothly goes through projects. The way it smoothly goes through, like I said, Mac OS. Oh, this is Final Cut. I didn't mean to go through Final Cut, I'm sorry. I was gonna go through DaVinci Resolve. Thanks. All right, DaVinci Resolve. As you can see, I have a video here playing. This video was caught, I believe, in this video was 1080. I could have upscaled it to 4K. I do have 4K video footage, but this is what I was running at the time. Let me turn up the volume so you guys can hear. What I like to call. But as you guys can see, it finished it in 2 minutes and 59 seconds. This video was not small. Let me show you exactly what I was working with. So as you guys can see, the footage is a pretty long one. I believe it was 14 minutes. Yeah, so it ended up being a 14-minute project. There was, certain things that were on this video. I didn't really put effects into it or anything. That was the only kind of regret that I had. You guys saw that. That was really cool. A little added transition that I did. I also added text to it. So it's not really graphically intensive, which is why it handled it in 2 minutes and 59 seconds, which is all possible thank you to DaVinci Resolve 18. It has cleaned up the render times for all Apple Silicon. DaVinci Resolve 17 was also cleaned up for Apple Silicon, but I think 18 really helped it out for sure. And it's really optimized for the Mac Studio, which I'm super, super into. and I cannot wait to get into it. This has been something very much in the making for me, showing you guys just how nice it is to get. And if you're wondering if it's worth it, it is totally worth it. If you want to have a desktop setup, I think having a Mac is like a must, unless you're building a PC because you're a game PC, because obviously you want to do that. But other than that, I don't see really any advantages to Windows over Mac OS, especially when you see how easily it runs all applications. I think it's the only one. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah. So as you guys can see, runs it real nice and easy. I could pull up a whole bunch, and it's gonna handle it like a champ. I can pull up Maps, Google Chrome, iMovie, and you guys are seeing that it runs it so nice and easy. Looking at pages on it. And this is the 8GB RAM model, along with this also has 16 cores, 8 GPU, 8 CPUs, 4 high efficiency, 4 low power cores, pretty much. So you guys it's not 100% phenomenal, I'd say, but it is definitely really good for what you need it to do. I have screen recording apps here. I use Honey as my extension. Find good deals. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you guys can. It really helps out the channel here. But also, as you guys can see, creating a spreadsheet. Let's do a black spreadsheet. You guys can see numbers there. But you can see how responsive everything is. Delete. Everything runs super easy. Really good. Pretty much for anything that you really need. I have never had an issue personally with my M1 Mac Mini, other than storage and how fast it runs at times. Other than that, though, nothing. And I mean literally nothing else competes with how nice this is. And you guys can see here everything that was running and what I still have running. But yeah, so this has been a great experience using this compared to other things I've used. And you guys can see here, this is from my SSD here, how fast it pulls it up, and it is super responsive. I can pull something instantly from it. It doesn't take any time to do it. That's another thing that I love. It's just so nice, easy, and simple to have. It runs really well for what it does. Calendar. I truly believe this is the most buttery smooth experience I've ever had. Like I said, I haven't tried a Mac Studio or the iMac, so I can't compare it to those options. I have tried the 14-inch MacBook Pro, the new one that came out with the M1 Pro chip. That runs really, really nice as well. I would love to get my hands on something like that to do a review for you guys, or to at least do an initial impressions video, or that versus an M1 Mac Mini. I'm definitely open to seeing what else is out there. Maybe I do go back to a MacBook and I just go for the M1 Mac Mini Pro, or M1. Wow, I can't speak. M1 Pro MacBook. Maybe I go for that one. Maybe I do. Maybe I go for that 14-inch. It really depends on price for me. But if I do end up going for that one, it would be the 10 and I believe the 16. Yeah, 10 CPUs and 16 GPU core option is a must if I was to go to that one. I would not get the 8 and 14 GPUs and the 8 core CPU. I've seen already what the 8 CPU does. it's okay. It's great if you're just somebody who does simple things, simple basic edits, simple tasks and things like that, surfing webs, emails. Definitely great for content consumption, things like that. It's definitely fast enough for, I would say, 85% of users. This is absolutely perfect setup for you guys. For anybody who's like, who wants to do higher things, who wants to do After Effects, who wants to do Photoshop incorporations, who wants to do higher level of transitions, work with higher Kodak files, which is what I eventually want to do. This isn't going to be the best option for you. It's going to bog down and it's going to eventually just not run your stuff. So that's the only thing that I really want to eventually move up to, so I have the headroom for the video, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I am going to see you guys in the next one.